Kentucky. Tonight's first game of the semifinals in the Metro Conference. Virginia Tech Hokies and the Rams of Virginia Commonwealth. Hello, everybody. I'm Jim Brinson, your host for tonight's festivities for this double dip of college basketball we're going to give you this evening from Freedom Hall. Quickly, let us tell you exactly how these two teams reached the semifinal bracket. Here they are. It was Virginia Commonwealth winning over South Florida 79-72 yesterday. Virginia Tech with the upset of 23-ranked Tulane and the number 2 seed in the Metro Conference by the tally of 64-55. Right now, let's take you courtside, where Fred White and Terry Gannon will call all of tonight's action. Gentlemen?
All right, thank you, Jim Brinson, and welcome courtside at Freedom Hall. And Terry, already an unusual day in college basketball. Evansville's team stuck in an elevator in Indianapolis for about an hour and a half. The lights went out in Charlotte for 25 minutes, so who knows what's going to happen here.
I don't know. Virginia Tech's here, too. How do you explain that? You can't blame the full moon because you can't see it with the snow. Fred, I'll tell you what, though. Virginia Tech had a great game yesterday all around. The inside game was great. Thomas Elliott, the senior, led the way with 16 points, 16 rebounds, also played the last 13 minutes with 4 fouls. And his counterpart, Jim Jackson, inside, the freshman, one of the frauds. Big game, all those points in the second half. They need it big again today. For VCU, outside-inside game. Tyron McCoy must hit the medium-range jump shots. Kenny Harris has got to handle the basketball down the stretch. He's been doing a great job. And Sherron Mills, one of the best big men in this conference, especially in the last couple of weeks, Fred.
So the matchup here at Freedom Hall for one of these teams tonight that's on to the championship game tomorrow. For the other one that's carrying me back to old Virginia, and they don't want to do that here tonight. So we have Virginia Commonwealth and Virginia Tech semifinal action for Freedom Hall. We'll be back to meet the starting lineups right after this message from Bud Light. There's the scene in Freedom Hall. Again, this is game 1 of the semifinal round. And Louisville set to go to work in the second game here tonight. They'll take on UNC Charlotte. Starting lineups, first for Virginia Tech. Jimmy Jackson and Thomas Elliott up front. Jimmy Carruth, big strong center in the middle with Jay Purcell at the point guard, and the freshman, very athletic freshman, Sean Good at the other guard for the Hokies here this evening. Now for VCU, Tyron McCoy will open it up forward here, along with Sherron Mills, who has really picked up his play of late. Eugene Kasorin, the young man from Russia, in the middle. And Kenny Harris, an outstanding guard, along with Terrence Gibson at the other guard for the Rams. Bill Foster, the head coach of Virginia Tech, and what a job he has done in getting his team into the semifinal round here this evening. Great victory for him last night. And there is Sonny Smith, a pair of veterans on the opposing benches here tonight. Sonny Smith in his 4th year at Virginia Commonwealth, 17th year overall. Bill Foster, 2nd year at Tech, 26th year overall. So you have met the starting lineups, and we're just about set for action. We'll be back with the opening tip-off right after this. Virginia Commonwealth coming into this game with a 19-8 record. They were 7-5 in the regular season. And Virginia Commonwealth beating South Florida last night by 7. Virginia Tech 10-17 on the year, 1-11 in the Metro Conference during the year, and then came in and dumped Tulane last night by 9. And that's a dangerous club right now, Terry.
So in other words, yeah, throw out the regular season record. I think you ride on emotion in tournaments. And Bill Foster, a guy who certainly used that to motivate his club yesterday. And Sonny Smith, the coach of the year in the Metro Conference this year, always is able to motivate his club.
And are they just one win away from the NCAA tournament? Those kinds of questions always come up.
I think what happened earlier this year between these two clubs, I think so. I think if VCU wins this game, Fred, I'd put them in the NCAA tournament.
I agree with you. I think 20 wins would do it for them. Not that the 20 is a magic mark, but I believe if they win here tonight, they certainly should be in. So here we go. Kenny Harris from the deep corner tries to open it. Can't. And Thomas Elliott, who had 16 rebounds last night, picks off the first one here tonight. Jay Purcell for the Hokies.
Straight man-to-man by both clubs. Yesterday, Virginia Tech won against Tulane by playing the zone defense, half-court game, wouldn't let them go up and down. Today they'll run a little bit against VCU. They don't want it to go 94 feet the entire game, but they'll pick their spots.
Sean Good, deep on the wing. Hokies very patient. Their problem is simply shooting the basketball, Terry. They just don't shoot it very well.
Yeah, they get good shots, too, Fred. You know, throughout the year, they just have not shot it well.
Shooting 40% for the season. There's a short one in the lane. Well, that's the kind of shot they got last night.
Can't get much better than that.
Harris, McCoy. It's a 2. Tyron McCoy gets Virginia Commonwealth off to a 2-point lead.
And I really think he's a key for this club. I mean, not just tonight, the entire season. When he shoots well, that medium-range jump shot, they tend to win.
That's a travel call. Terry, in a matter of Virginia Tech's shooting, it's got to be frustrating for everyone when you run the offense and get the shot and you can't stick on it. Last night, the Hokies had 9 baskets in the first half. Sean Good got 2 dunks off steals, and they got a dunk on a stick back. So that means they really only got 6 baskets out of the offense in the first half, and they won.
Yeah, it means Tulane really helped them in the first half is what it means. Second half, Jim Jackson got hot, and they shot it a little better.
Now there's a foul down at the baseline. Terrence Gibson was caught on the hole, so the first foul in the ball game. Off to a rather slow start. We played a minute 23, and it's 2-0 Rams.
And normally you see this type of start the first game of the tournament, not the second game. Maybe it's not jitters right now, it's fatigue.
Sean Good for the Hokies. Terrence Gibson with him. Jimmy Jackson, who came up so big in the second half last night. Jackson got all 14 of his points in that half. Purcell. Very patient attack here by Virginia Tech. Thomas Elliott spins and misses. And Harris looking up court. Gets it up in a hurry to Tyron McCoy. And he gets it right back. And now Harris for 3 from way out front. And it won't fall. And here comes Jimmy Jackson.
And he's missed his first 2 3-point shooting will be a key tonight.
An odd foul by Tyron McCoy. Foul that he really didn't have to make. Jimmy Jackson didn't appear to be committed to go to the basket that time, but he was fouled by McCoy. The first on him and the second on the Rams.
Virginia Tech, a funny club. You mentioned losing 10 out of 11 games to end the season. Yesterday came in here, didn't play great in the first half, just kept it right there. Second half played very well. But a mix of seniors, Fred, and younger kids, and sometimes it's hard to get chemistry when you have that kind of club.
All those young kids last night, 3 of their freshmen scored 37 of their 64 points last night. That's a very productive young class for them. Very talented young class, and it's only going to get better next year with their recruits. Ace Custis will come back from the knee injury next year. On the deep corner, McCoy short with a try and a very slow start to this thing. Sherron Mills reverses one that won't go, and Jimmy Carruth has it. And he's still 2-0.
That's the only way that Sherron Mills has touched the basketball, off the glass, too. Everything's been from the outside.
Terrence Gibson off to a terrible start, just committed his second foul, and he got both of them at the offensive end of the floor.
And here's a guy who plays great games against Virginia Tech. Both games this year, he's got 69%. Michigan with the win.
Seton Hall gets Providence today in the Big East.
Providence trying to get into the NCAA tournament first time. But look at Carolina, Derek Phelps. He got injured in that game. Hopefully he's okay. The preliminary reports are good.
Upset number 1 in Kansas City. Kansas State beating Kansas. Iowa getting by Illinois after Illinois lost that tough one to Michigan. Syracuse over the Johnnies in the Big East today. Georgia Tech
may have kept Clemson out of the NCAA tournament.
Might have happened there. Out west, Oregon State a winner over Stanford in the Pac-10. Iowa State came back and beat Missouri. Missouri had them down most of that game. That looked like another upset in the making.
Another upset, yeah.
LSU over Vandy. No upset there. Kentucky winning.
Something in the air, weather-wise and tournament-wise.
Sherron Mills, no. I tell you what, there's a lid at both ends of this thing. It is still 2-0 Rams. We played 3 minutes and 15 seconds, and Jimmy Jackson finally peels the lid off of the Hokie basket. And now a whistle blowing, and Sherron Mills may have lost a contact. He's okay. Looks like he's carrying his contact lens to the bench. Sherron Mills is going over there. If he wears contacts, that's what he's doing.
He's got something in his hand.
I believe that's what happened to him. So we're going to let him get the contact put back in. So now we're tied at 2-2. It took 3 minutes and 18 seconds for Virginia Tech to score.
Thought we were just going to show scores the entire game there. One of the scores of the Syracuse game, as Jim Jackson took one in the chops there at the other end, letting them play in that tournament. I mean, I'm not sure you should let them play in the tournament. They decide to, they switched this one on us.
Aha. Missouri did get the upset. How about, who would have picked Missouri and Kansas State playing for the Big 8 championship tomorrow?
Missouri may win that.
Missouri lost 7 in a row until they beat Colorado on the last day of the regular season. That's interesting, Terry. Things going on around the country right now.
So much for getting hot at the end of the year to go to tournaments, right?
I tell you, it's interesting. I saw Norm Stewart a week ago, and he said, you know what? If we can beat Colorado, we'll probably win the tournament. They are 1 game away.
And that was your reaction. You laughed.
Yeah. Sure, Norm. Brower back in the corner. Kenny Harris.
Brower into the ball game to try to get something going offensively. Kenny Harris missed his first 3 shots now.
Purcell knocked off balance, and the ball comes right back to Virginia Commonwealth. McCoy having trouble through a long bounce pass and picked off by Kenny Harris.
Both coaches trying to get scorers into the ball game. You got Corey Jackson in, so 3-guard offenses for both clubs. Maybe it works.
Tyron McCoy has all 4 points now for VCU. 15:57 left in the first half. It's just a 4-2 game. One of those games, Terry, where somebody just needs to make a play and get the thing started.
Feeling each other out at the beginning. Yeah, and they played twice already. What do you have to feel out?
Purcell's shot won't fall. Ball slapped around and picked up by Eugene Casoren. Now come the Rams on the break. McCoy, great dish back to Casoren. The shot too strong, but tipped in by Rodney Ashby.
That's an assist. Right off the backboard for Ashby, who just didn't dunk it. He just laid it in.
Left it there for him, right?
Because Soren got the ball too early. There's nothing he could do except throw it off the glass.
Hokie struggling with the shooting again. Turnaround shot, no. Purcell didn't even draw iron that time. He might have been whacked a little bit. But the Hokies now are 1 for 6.
Going up.
That'll go. Brower takes one. It won't fall for him. And we'll go the other way. Well, somebody's going to make a basket here.
A lot of iron out there.
Stick with us. Somebody's going to score. Sean Good backs it out.
42 for who?
Corey Jackson.
There you go. Corey Jackson, a guy who percentage-wise throughout his career has not shot real well, but he's a good shooter. You know, he'll go on a streak and he'll hit 3 or 4 in a row, and that's why he's on the court right now. Try to get a little jump start.
Shooting only 26% from three-point range, but got that one down, and McCoy tries to answer at the other end. He's trying to do it for the Rams now, and it's not working. Kenny Harris to the bucket with a great dish to Ashby, and he's hammered from behind by Thomas Elliott with a block.
Can you say ugly early?
Small island rules. 14:26 left in first half action here. It is 6-5 Virginia Commonwealth. We'll bring you right back to Freedom Hall. Tough shooting here. VCU just 3 for 13 in this game. Virginia Tech just 2 for 7. And now we have a foul on Thomas Elliott. Elliott, who played in foul trouble last night, was able to stay in the game, commits his first foul here this evening.
Now you look at what Virginia Tech did yesterday, Fred, and you can understand it at least. Look at the shooting percentages, 29-23, anemic 20s. Tulane, a ball club who, if you stop their streaks and their spurts, don't let them go up and down the court, you don't turn the ball over that much, you can imagine beating them. You know, you play well within your half-court offense and pack it back in. Look at Mills at the top of the Metro leaders in field goal percentage. UL after that, Louisville players. But against the Virginia Commonwealth, they have the shooters to bring you back out of that. Virginia Tech, theoretically, shouldn't be able to sit back today, even in their man-to-man. So far, that hasn't proven true.
John Smith, Jim Jackson. The thing about, we mentioned it, Virginia Tech shooting 40% from the year. That really begins to work on your mind, too. And you see guys pass up shots.
Oh, yeah, open shots. You don't want to take them. You're exactly right. It's contagious. Here goes Kenny Harris.
Got Casoren with him, and the layup good this time by Eugene Casoren, his first 2 points.
And the difference between little bank shot to Ashby last time and that was the bounce pass to Casoren where he didn't have to put it on the floor. He had it right next to the hoop.
But for all this, it's just a 4-point lead for the Rams. Jackson, top of the circle. Good. Inside to Elliott. They run their stuff really well right there.
They do. Side to side, high to low. I think Sean Good, a guy who can start to look to score a little bit. He's got Chris Brower on him. Doesn't really have the quickness, but he can shoot it.
Chris Brower lead in the quarter. Brower, a 41% shooter from three-point range. 1 for 2 from there this evening, and now suddenly a 5-point lead to Virginia Commonwealth.
And he makes sure the officials saw it was a 3.
Now Jay Purcell. Hometown boy from Blacksburg for the Hokies. Harris with him. Jackson. Nice fake. He puts it on the floor and takes the shot and got it. A little more confident than he has been.
Yeah, in the first half as opposed to the second half, but that'll take some confidence out of you. You get blindsided. Wow. Well, Jackson got hit a moment ago and he gets hit again. Watch Kenny Harris lead the break and push it out to a shooter. He knows Brower's not only open in the corner, but he knows he's a shooter. That's what a point guard does. He finds the guys in their area of the court that they really score well in. And Chris Brower's not going to miss that open shot very often.
54 of his 60 baskets this year have come from beyond the three-point line.
Yeah, he actually hit a 2-pointer yesterday. I was going to fall out of the chair.
He believes close doesn't count. Tyron McCoy from the wing. That's 6.
Well, Brower's arm will go before his legs, too. He doesn't hesitate.
Purcell to Elliott. To Sean Good. Inside out. Jackson needs to take that shot. Does, and comes up shortly.
No. Yeah, I mean, you can't get a better shot than that, better ball movement than that. You got to bury it.
Power for 3. Off the front of the rim, and Elliott high with the rebound. Hokies down 5. Elliott operating in open court and just kicked it off his knee. There's a touch by Iran. Nope. 5 turnovers now, Virginia Tech.
I'm going to blame that on Jim Brinson yesterday, who told Thomas Elliott that an NBA scout asked about him. I think he was trying to show the scouts that he could maybe play a different position today. A little bit out of his element.
5-point lead to the Rams. You see a dozen minutes left in first half action. Harris, Sherron Mills.
Ashby really wants the ball on the block.
Well, they try to get it to him, and it's knocked away. Oh, nice pass, Jackson to Good. Second turnover, Rams, and Good can't bury it. Now Elliott fouled from behind. He had solid position, and Virginia Commonwealth's Kareem Washington fouled it.
Well, he get the foul, but the break really wasn't run well, Fred, at all. No spacing whatsoever.
Timeout here, 11:43 left in our first half. 5-point lead to the Rams, and we'll be back after this from Bud Light. And welcome back to Freedom Hall, where these two teams have been about as cold as the weather. Louisville suffering cold weather, but snow flew all day, but nothing stuck here in Louisville. We're very fortunate that way because the rest of the country has absolutely been hammered. We mentioned at the start of the game, we understand there are 2 feet of snow on the ground in Blacksburg, and Richmond. It's rain changing the snow. Nice work by Sean Smith down inside.
That's as good a move as I've seen him make in the last 3 weeks. What a splash he made at the beginning of the year, and then kind of had the freshman ups and downs the rest of the way.
Had 9 points and 5 rebounds in 2 matchups with the Rams earlier this year. Oh, spinning move. Harris, nice work. Kenny Harris knocks down his first 2 of the night.
Purcell wanted the push off, and much of yesterday, officials were really watching that. Not so today, and Purcell goes right at Kenny Harris.
Pretty good answer by Jay Purcell with his first 2 points of the night. The 6'3" junior from Blacksburg.
And here we go again.
Harris, so I'll take it the other end, but now he gives it up to Sherron Mills at strip. Elliott trying to find the handle and is picked off finally. Purcell to Jim Jackson.
Nice.
Smith to Elliott, and he's fouled.
You can't run a break much better than that, as opposed to the one that took place right before the TV timeout where there was no spacing. This time, everyone running their lanes and staying wide, and down the middle came Thomas Elliott.
Now Ashby goes out, and Eugene Kasorin back in for the Rams. That's the 4th foul on Virginia. 5th foul, make that on Virginia Commonwealth. 3 have been charged to Virginia Tech. Sonny Smith, Coach of the Year in the Metro Conference. Thomas Elliott, 69% shooter.
Sonny right now, I would imagine, would try to maybe push the ball up a little bit more. Get this game going up and down. We mentioned how poorly teams have shot. There's really been no intensity yet either. And he's got a club with Kenny Harris who can definitely go up and down. You got Kareem Washington who can run in there. Sherron Mills, maybe the best 94-foot big man in the league.
You mentioned Elliott's nice night last night. 16 points, 16 rebounds. Harris 3. Kenny Harris has 5. And the Rams are back up by 4 with 10:33 left in the first half. Seems like you need to get the jumper cables out here, doesn't it? Raycom is pleased to welcome our viewers tuning in on Prime Network and their nationwide family of regional sports cable affiliates. Brower for 2. He remembered.
Yeah, but he had to take it. He wanted to give that up on the break. But
didn't have to. He could have stopped and shot a 3 at any time.
And I wouldn't have been surprised.
I wouldn't either.
He's done it before.
6-point lead now to the Rams. Their biggest lead here in the first half. Somehow Virginia Tech is hanging around. This reminds me a little bit of last night's game.
Exactly. They just hung around. In the second half, they made a run. But this is a little different game because you're not playing against a one-dimensional team like Tulane was yesterday.
And now Purcell buries a tray. Harris at the other end with a left-handed layup. Boy, Kenny Harris now is taking it over. He has 7 quick points and a 5-point lead to the Rams. Smith, good dish to Jim Jackson.
This game has gained a lot of juice in the last minute or so, you know.
23-20 now, and the pace really picking up with 9:23 left in the first half. Jimmy Jackson has 6. Didn't score in the first half last night.
Jimmy Tech shooting 50% from three-point range. VCU's three-pointers will be important the rest of the way, I think.
Green Washington, no. Purcell grabs the rebound, and the Hokies out on the run. They are 4-on-2, and Purcell.
Nice, Fred. Stop at the free throw line. You take a little shot. That's the type shot, as you mentioned, that they haven't been hitting most of the year.
Now it's a one-point ball game. And Kenny Harris walks it up for the Rams.
I think if I play Kenny Harris defensively, I just try to contain him. Don't let him penetrate, create havoc.
Chris Brower lost the handle on it. 4th turnover for Virginia Commonwealth, and Jimmy Jackson having Collins, can't handle it. Out of bounds it goes to Virginia Commonwealth. Jackson thought he got bumped out. Jimmy Carruth back on the floor now for Virginia Tech.
Jackson, a tough kid. He's gotten hit twice in the mouth. One time put a dent in the floor, the back of his head. And now he's back in.
Damon Watlington on the floor for the Hokies for the first time tonight also.
See right here, Fred, if I'm Jay Purcell, I just try to contain Kenny Harris. You look at Virginia Tech turning it over 7 times already. You know, I don't want to pressure Harris. Just keep him in front of you.
Sherron Mills stumbled and lost the grip on it, and Watlington for the bucket at the other end of the court. Damon Watlington, the 6'1 freshman from Reidsville, North Carolina, puts Virginia Tech in front for the first time tonight. They're up by a point. Now Corey Jackson back for the Hokies, and Terrence Gibson returns for Virginia Commonwealth.
Pretty good officiating crew tonight here in this game with Terry Donahue, Danny Hooker, Bobby Owen. Just don't adjust your tie over here on the sideline.
Happening last night in the Southwest Conference, where the radio announcer for Texas A&M was thrown out of the game for making a choke sign at an official.
You're allowed 2 tie adjustments, and that's it.
We negotiated that before the ball game with the officials. Another steal. Corey Jackson got a hand on it, and Watlington is bumped at midcourt. 6th turnover. Virginia Commonwealth and Kareem Washington committing the foul at midcourt, and the Hokies all of a sudden have grabbed the lead here with 7:58 left in the first half. So Virginia Tech coming back to take the lead after getting down by 6. 7:58 left in our first half. The Hokies are up by 1. Back after this from your local station. This is the Raycom Sports Network. We had a power outage down earlier. The lights went out. The power stayed on, but some of the lights went out on them. So the weather playing havoc with them down there.
Shooting getting a little bit better. We saw both teams in the 20s a couple of moments ago.
The Hokies, who have had shooting problems all year, suddenly pick up the pace, but now they turn it over. Taken away by Virginia Commonwealth. That is the 8th turnover charged to Virginia Tech. Hokies lead by 1.
And this is really where teams want to make a run on VCU. When Kenny Harris is out of the ball game, he's getting up to check in after the timeout rest.
Mills with a spinning jumper off the baseline. Well, he has really picked up his game, Terry.
But he's a different player since Kendrick Warren went out of the lineup. I mean, he was doing a nice job off the bench and coming in, but I'll tell you what, he's become, I think, maybe an NBA player.
The Hokies lose the basketball at the baseline. That is turnover number 9 now charged. Coming up, second semifinal game tonight. UNC Charlotte 49ers against the Louisville Cardinals. The Cardinals drew a bye last night, and I'm sure that Denny Crum would tell you, I don't know if that's good or not.
Before the tournament, he'll say it's good. You're only going to win 2 games. Now he says, I wish I played 1.
Semifinal action from Freedom Hall in Louisville, the Metro Conference Tournament. Champions match up tomorrow afternoon. There are the turnovers. Mills with his second spinning jump shot. He has 5 points now. 2 quick buckets back-to-back for Sherron Mills, the 6'9 senior.
And that's what he's able to do in the half-court offense. The other thing, and the reason I think he could be an NBA player, is that he runs the court so well.
Strong. Got a lot of things going for him.
Yeah.
Jimmy Jackson.
Got a pro body.
Damon Watlington. Purcell down low to Jimmy Carruth. Not even thinking about shooting the ball.
Yeah. You got to be a threat if you're going to make anybody else better on the perimeter.
Damon Watlington, the freshman, steps up and hits one.
Jimmy Carruth is going to change your shot. And he blocked 4 shots yesterday. He's going to help you out defensively, but not even looking to score down on the other end.
Strong rebounder, shot blocker, plays hard on defense.
Why not go right back to Sherron Mills?
Sherron from outside got his own rebound and then threw it away. He's trying to find Sherron Mills.
Yeah, you mentioned the situation in the Charlotte Coliseum. Isn't it funny, too? You know, Charlotte, a city that just absolutely breaks down if there's just a threat of a flurry. Nobody goes to work. The grocery stores are all bombarded with people. You know, 23,000 people today in the Charlotte Coliseum. A lot of people are going to have some explaining to do when they miss work because of the snow next time.
Elliott from way outside misses. Sean Good with a rebound, and the jumper got the side of the board. Elliott again with a spinner, no. Caruth slapped it back up, no, and this time Sherron clears the rebound for the Rams up to Kenny Harris. And he got the answer. Three-pointer.
That's awfully tough to stop. When you have a guy like Mills who can run the floor, Elliott trying to get back to stop him. If Kenny Harris can hit that jump shot, can't defend their break, even when they don't have the number advantage.
10 points now for Kenny Harris. A pair of three-point field goals and a pair of twos. Washington goes by Terrence Gibson. Got a pick from Caruth. Big-time screen, and that's going to turn into a foul. Jimmy Caruth is going to be called for the foul. Talk about big and strong. He's had a one that would rattle your eye teeth.
Kind of hard to hide after committing that foul. Jimmy kind of smiled and tried to scrunch down. You're not going to hide anywhere, Jim.
6'10" junior from Port Arthur, Texas. Talk about long arms. He's got a 90-inch wingspan. Wears a 41-inch sleeve.
Two of mine.
30-26, Virginia Commonwealth. 5 minutes left in the first half. Mills, Kenny Harris. He's got the hot hand, and they're going to write it. That's his third tray.
Second time they've run that exact play, and both times Kenny Harris has knocked it down.
The joy of passing the basketball knowing you're going to get it back.
Yeah, how about it? And I think most players, when they know they're going to get it, either on an out-of-bounds play or a set play like that, hit 7 out of 10 of those shots because you know and you're ready to shoot.
And Jackson answers at the other end with his 8th point of the first half. Gibson in trouble. Sean Good able to pick it off. And the Hokies down 5. Get it up to Purcell. Going to try a 3. That was a 2, excuse me. It wouldn't fall either way.
Doesn't matter.
No. It was a 0. It was actually what it was. It was a zip.
Kenny Harris will bring it back out. Spread the court. Let him operate. 4 out of 10 for VCU. Picking up a bit from three-point range as well.
Chris Brower has one of those threes, and Kenny Harris has 3 of them. Now Gibson shot no, and the rebound to Thomas Elliott. Here come the Hokies, down 5. 3:49 left in the first half. Good is going to try for 3 and got it.
You know, and he had to change that entire shot. He kind of shot it from his left ear because Terrence Gibson came out to his right side, and he still buried it. And again, they're just hanging around. They're just hanging in there.
Stay close, stay close. There's really the theme here last night. Underdogs kept hanging around, and then all of a sudden, boom.
Stay close and steal it. When you do stay close and you're the underdog, down the stretch, the pressure is on the favorite. You know, that's what happened, I think, with Tulane yesterday.
Sometimes you're ahead and you feel like you're chasing the other team.
That's right.
Gibson, Sherron Mills going to take the jumper. And nothing but net. Sherron Mills, nice work. He has 7 points. Got off to a little bit of a slow start.
Well, add that to the book and shoot the outside shot.
Yep. 4-point lead now, Rams. With 2:53 left in the first half. And Purcell in no hurry. The Hokies. How would they were called the hurrying Hokies? Not
no
anymore.
more. Well.
Weather's good. John Good. Elliott inside out. Jackson for 3 from way outside is short with the try. And here come the Rams out 4-on-2 with Kenny Harris leading the break. And Gibson to McCoy. Great work.
Pretty to watch, huh? Kenny Harris makes the right decision going to the left. And Gibson feeds it across the lane to McCoy.
8 for McCoy now. 6-point lead Rams. 2:17 left in the first half.
And if you're the Hokies, when your guard goes ahead and drives the lane or follows the shot, somebody else has got to come back on defense.
Now Caruth is looking for somebody to pass it to. They just leave him alone out there. He's not going to shoot it. Now Caruth is back to the bucket. Still too far out.
Jackson can shoot it there either.
Well, now they turn it over with 1:55 left in the half. Bill Foster saying, no, we can't afford to do that, guys. We got to take care of the ball. Timeout here. We have 1:55 left in first half action here, but it's still close at this break. Rams are leading the Hokies by 6.
by 6, starting to push it up a little bit, Fred, as Kenny Harris leads the break just like they draw it up. Stops right at the free throw line to the left, across the lane. Tyron McCoy ends with the dunk, and you can't execute any better than that. Kenny Harris didn't get an assist on that, but leading the Metro in assists. Pointer Williams second. Terry Cameron, who switched from a shooting guard to a point guard halfway through the season, they're at third. But this man, I think, without question, this year has been the point guard that has led his club the most in crucial situations, Fred.
Brower for 2, and it won't fall. The tip up, no. Your name have popped up in the assist leader, Cedric Broadhurst from North Carolina.
That's right. That's exactly right. You got Rashawn Thompson, who's been injured. Cedric Broadhurst, small forward, playing the point for Thompson for the most part now.
You see him in the second game tonight. Jackson's tray won't fall. And here come the Rams now with a 6-point lead. A minute 20 left in the half.
Brower wanted it,
Did he
Fred.
find the open man? Brower short with a try, but Kenny Harris found him in a heartbeat. And now Sherron Mills with a stick back.
Must have bad weather in here, too.
A little windage at Freedom Hall. 9 points now for Sherron Mills. Tyron McCoy has 8. And Kenny Harris with 10. Chris Brower with 5.
It's been a bad last minute for Virginia Tech. This ball game was a 4-point game, and I think Bill Foster would have been happy to go to the locker room down 4 and again try to stay close and steal it. Now it's 8. Danger of going to double digits.
3-point shooting. Purcell. Elliott, who came out to help him and nearly lost it.
Just not sharp today at all, Fred, which surprises me after the big win yesterday.
12 on the shot clock, and Purcell with a short try won't go. And Sean Good tried to get it back up and couldn't. Purcell gets it. Jay Purcell has 9. Now Hokies within 6 with 26 seconds left in the half.
Sonny will get one here. Shot clock is off, and what they'll do is they'll run the Kenny Harris spread. Everyone else goes to the baseline and basically gets the heck out of the way, and they let Kenny do his thing.
And there stands Jay Purcell knowing what's going to happen.
Yeah, that's a tough role to be in. You know he's coming right at you, and you're all alone. You're the Lone Ranger. Look, nobody else in your picture to help out.
Got to give him cushion. He's just going to pull up and fire the 3. You had to give him the cushion, and he sticks it.
Nothing you can do.
Kenny Harris finishes with his 4th 3 of the first half. And his 16th point of the first half, and that one puts the Rams up by 9, their biggest lead of the half, at 42-33. Tell you, there was a thing that Jay Purcell could do. If you come up on him, he's going to drive right past you. So you give him the cushion, he sticks the 3.
You got no help, Fred. You got to make him shoot that shot, and Kenny Harris on right now wants that shot.
So Kenny Harris really taking it over down the stretch for the Rams. 42-33. Virginia Commonwealth leading Virginia Tech at halftime. Let's get upstairs to colleague Jim Brinson.
All right, guys, thank you very much. A terrific first half of basketball, and we have just begun here in the semifinal round of the Metro Conference here at Freedom Hall in Louisville, Kentucky. Don't go away. We're going to have a lot more coming up during this halftime timeout.
Leading scorers, Jay Purcell with 9, Jimmy Jackson 8. 2 players have 4 for the Hokies. And 4, Virginia Commonwealth. Kenny Harris lit it up the first half with 16 and took them into that 9-point lead. That's our halftime stats brought to you by Gillette. Let's play some basketball. Second half action underway at Freedom Hall.
See, the problem with Kenny Harris defending him is that most point guards, you can, once he gets in the lane, kind of let him make the decision whether he's going to shoot or not. Kenny Harris, he'll knock that down, and he's going to make the pass or knock down the little shot.
Elliott with a spinner. Thomas Elliott has 6.
Quick little shot, and the Hokies not a team that's going to get back into it right away. And you say that with most clubs, but especially Virginia Tech. Again, they're going to try to hang and hang and hang and then take it away from them. Caruth on Kasurin, and a nice move to bring him to the high post, bring Jimmy Caruth away from the basket.
And Sherron Mills with a turnaround jumper that won't fall. The ball slapped out of bounds. And the Hokies get it back, now down 7. A chance to open the second half with a move here now. Purcell just going to walk it up for the Hokies. They've got a lot of time. They're going to be very patient. Jimmy Caruth not even looking at the ball.
Oh, no. And when he gets it, he won't look at the hoop either.
He was there to set a screen, and he was looking down toward the baseline that time.
Well, he wanted it inside. They didn't get it to him, though. He had Kasurin down in the paint.
good. Takes it inside, and Elliott will take that shot in there. Got it blocked, but taken right back up by Good, and it won't fall. Caruth fighting for it, but it's out of bounds and belongs to Virginia Tech.
Now they keep it alive on the glass, though. They couldn't get it to go down. You're right, Sean Good, too. He's a great athlete. And you watch him game in, game out. Yesterday had 2 quick dunks on the break, and that time had a foul, almost dunked that back in.
There's Good, pops one from the wing. 2-point try won't go, and Kasurin and Caruth were tangled up, but Kasurin unable to keep it. Now McCoy. UNC Charlotte and Louisville will hook up in the second semifinal game here at Freedom Hall tonight in the winners matchup for the Metro Conference Tournament Championship tomorrow at 1. Gibson for 3.
Well, he's had 2 great games against Virginia Tech and started slowly with the 2 fouls. Hits his first shot of the second half.
Scored 29 points in the first 2 games. Jackson tries to answer with a 3 and can't, and Elliott's able to save it.
Again on the glass.
Now Elliott from the corner. This 3-point try won't go, and look at Sherron Mills. What was he up there? Now Harris and the Rams are on the break. McCoy's going to pop it and get it.
That's his spot, too, and Kenny Harris knows it. He had Terrence Gibson flashing down the right side, but he knew he had McCoy on that wing, the left wing, and Tyrone loves to shoot it from that angle.
Now a 12-point margin to Virginia Commonwealth. That's the biggest lead of the game, and the Hokies need to find an answer if they're going to stick around. Caruth, Jackson.
Yesterday it was Jackson from the outside, and it basically went through Thomas Elliott, the inside-outside game. And there it is on that side. Pretty good defense by Mills.
Purcell for 3. Jay Purcell has a dozen points tonight. He scored 9 last night. He has 12 already in this one.
Oh, Gibson again.
Terrence Gibson, who didn't score in the first half, has drilled 2 of them here in the opening moments of the second half.
He loves to see that Virginia Tech on the other jersey. Now,
Travels.
not going to happen that far from the basket, Thomas.
Dozen turnovers now, Virginia Tech. Bill Foster.
I don't see the rubber band on Bill Foster's wrist. Yesterday, he used a rubber band as a motivational ploy. He broke 1 in the locker room, then strung 20 together to show his club that you couldn't pull apart something that stays together. 20 guys who stay together, and it worked yesterday. Don't know what he's using today.
Kenny Harris sets the offense. McCoy, Jimmy Jackson way out on the floor with him and all over him. And now McCoy is going to use the dribble to go past him, and he's fouled. Purcell came over to help.
Did he not dribble it already, Fred?
You know, I wondered. I don't know if he dropped it. If they ruled it not a dribble, they apparently did, because they didn't call the double dribble.
A couple of Virginia Tech players, turning to the official and saying, well, he already dribbled it. I think they were confused. The call may have been right.
Well, Jackson came up on him so tight because he was sure he had dribbled it.
Yeah, exactly.
Mills, nice soft touch.
Now he got bodied, he got bumped, and now they get the steal.
Rams get it right back, and they have a 14-point lead in the basketball. Virginia Commonwealth, most people thinking here, 1 victory away from a berth in the NCAA tournament, and they are after it now. They are beginning to open up the lead, and Mills spinning again. That one won't fall. McCoy saved. Foul, and that won't roll in. The whole Ram bench was over there putting body English on that thing, wanting that basket badly.
Sonny looked like Gary Yepremian, too. He had the side kick all the way up to his waist.
John Smith checks in now for the Hokies to try to help him pick up the pace. Jimmy Caruth will come out. Bill Foster trying to find some offense.
You know, Sonny Smith, the guy who obviously is known for his wit, his humor, the after-dinner speeches, and I think sometimes Caruth goes to sit down. I think sometimes, his coaching ability is lost in all of that. It takes away from what the public perceives him on the sidelines. This is a guy who can flat out coach. I mean, think of players he had at Auburn, job he did, and now he came to VCU, wanted to leave the program. Whenever he left it, a lot better off than it was when he came, and I think he's already taken it to another level.
Edwin McCoy has 5 rebounds now to go with his dozen points in this contest. And the Rams have opened up a 16-point lead, so they have owned the opening moments of the second half. Virginia Tech scored on their first possession in the half, and now they score here. Well, they got Sean Smith in there looking for some offense, and he got it for them in a hurry.
Exactly, because Soren on Jimmy Carruth, he wasn't even looking to score, and now he's got to guard Smith because he can score.
Boy, walk. And the Hokies are going to get it back. Tried to make a quick flash from the wing, and he didn't get the dribble down in time. We have time out here. 15:43 left in this one. The Rams are up by 14, and we'll be back after this from Budweiser. Hey, good shooting here by Virginia Commonwealth. 3 guys spatially. Kenny Harris is 6 for 9. McCoy's 5 for 7. Sherron Mills is 5 for 10.
And Mills has been the guy in the second half. They've gone to him 3-4 times in a row. Little turnaround jump shot down low.
Pretty good shape when you got 3 go-to guys in the game.
Yeah.
They've got 3 of them right now who have the hot hand, and they all 3 have taken it over in spells. They're the field goals in the second half. Hokies are down 14 points here and trying to shore up their offense. Elliott inside out.
Nice.
Good. Purcell for 3 and nice.
And that's how they did it last night. Against Tulane, they went to Elliott first, the collapse. He draws the defense, and then they get the outside shot.
15 for Jay Purcell, who had 9 points last night as the Hokies beat Tulane 64-55.
Fred, VCU does such a nice job of, if they don't have the break, they not only get it back, but they get it to Kenny Harris, and he sets everything up. Well, not bad. 7 out of 14 for VCU. He said that was one of the keys.
Mills blocked by Elliott, wants it again, and it's going to be a charging foul on Sherron Mills. His first foul for as active as he's been in there. He had not committed a foul until just then. Yeah. Let's take a look at this first. I want to make a point about the officiating and the coaches. You should look at Sonny Smith right here.
The shot by Gibson from the outside, and a long rebound. Elliott misses the rebound as it comes long, and they call it right here on Mills. And they're emphasizing that rule of verticality this year. I think they always say they do. This year they're finally doing it.
They are doing it. John Smith leans in the strip of the basketball. Raycom pleased to welcome our viewers tuning in on Prime Network and their nationwide family of regional sports cable affiliates. We mentioned the officiating early. Good crew here tonight. Hey, something else about this league. The coaches really don't do much yelling at the officials. They coach their teams, let the officials officiate the game. This is probably the best league in the country for cooperation between coaches and officials.
I think you've got coaches who have been around a long, long time in this league. And you've got 2 56-year-old grandfathers sitting on the bench today. Denny Crum has been here, you know, for so long in Freedom Hall. M.K. Turk has been around. It's a league in which you have veteran coaches who know when to get on officials, when not to.
Bill Foster, Sonny Smith in this one. Veteran coaches. Bill Foster in his 26th year. Sonny Smith in his 17th. And it's really fun to sit here and do games and watch the cooperation and not see all that arguing going on the sideline. Turnovers, numbers getting pretty big here right now. And we've got a blocking foul outside on Tyron McCoy, his second foul.
It's that same play. The 3rd time they've tried to run it. This time, Virginia Tech defends it well. Purcell fought over the screen instead of trying to go behind. If you try to go behind the screen, Kenny Harris will hit it down. And Sonny on the sideline, that's how they argue. They shake their head.
He didn't say they wouldn't give you a funny look once in a while. They just don't say much. He fouls even at 2 apiece. Smith, Thomas Elliott. Sean good. Jimmy Jackson. Look at that little set shot, a push up, almost an old-fashioned shot, but he knocks down the tray and he has 14.
It looks like he's aiming the basketball, but he can shoot it.
Now, all of a sudden, the Hokies back within 8 with 13:35 to play. And Brower and Ishby will check in for Virginia Commonwealth. Thomas Elliott knocked it loose, but saved by Kasorin. Sean Mills bumped off balance. That will be a foul on Jimmy Jackson, his 3rd. Sherron Mills wound up about 10 feet above the circle.
Take a look at the shot by Jimmy Jackson. That's the way they came back yesterday against Tulane. He sets so nicely. He's got the feet together. Look at the follow through. See how he hung? They say wave goodbye to the basketball. And the high release, the high extension follow through. It's not a picture perfect shot. It's not even a jump shot. It takes a while to get off. But good form by Jimmy Jackson, even though it takes a while.
I tell you, the three-point line has brought back set shooters.
You're right.
Without that, there were a lot of jump shooters out there. Sherron Mills gets his 13th point. With the 3, you'll see a lot of guys take the set shot now, not shoot the jumper.
I think what's gone from the game is the art of shooting free throws, though.
Yes. I agree with you.
Guys either want to dunk or shoot the three. Don't make the highlight packages free throws.
Jackson off balance. The shot wouldn't fall. You know what? He's really Jimmy Jackson last night, and it started happening in the second half when the Hokies came back to win. He's really picked up the intensity level. You're seeing a little emotion out there for Grace now. He'll pump a fist when he makes a play.
He gained a lot of confidence yesterday. And you get a win as a ball club. Virginia Tech really came out of that a confident team. You talked to him after the game, and Jim Jackson especially scoring 14 points in the second half. Some clutch shots. But all year long, he's been a guy who's not been afraid to take the big shot.
12 now for Jim Jackson. You saw Kareem Washington replacing Tyron McCoy after the third foul on McCoy. Jimmy Jackson with 16 points last night. Or 14 last night. Now with a dozen in this one, right back up with it.
7-point game. Guess what? They're hanging. That's the operative word for this afternoon. Just hanging in there. Doing really nothing special. I mean, they haven't changed much here. Just maybe picked up the enthusiasm a little bit, as you said, a little more intensity.
8 points now for Thomas Elliott. Kenny Harris. Oh, what a floater he got down there. He was off balance when he jumped, it looked like.
That's the thing. You would like point guards to take that shot most of the time instead of creating a breakdown in the defense, dishing it off. He's going to hit it.
18 points for Kenny Harris. 9-point lead to the Rams. 12-18 left in the game. Hokies with that great patience still. Sean Good looking inside. Takes it in there to Thomas Elliott on the lean. The shot contested inside. Ashby takes it out of there to Brower.
Going up.
It's supposed to be a pass. Ashby's tip won't go.
See, even when he tries to pass, it doesn't get a shot. He can't even pass if he wants to.
that was a left-handed try. Chris Brower's errant pass here.
See, he's never been in that position before. To go ahead and make the pass for the assist. Even that one hits the rim.
Looked like he served a volleyball the old-fashioned way. Timeout here. We're back after this message from Schick Tracer.
Well, look at what Kenny Harris has done. 18 points, also has 7 assists, Fred.
3-point field goals tonight. 7 for 15 for Virginia Commonwealth. They've shot it well from beyond the arc. Ashby, Sherron Mills, Kareem Washington. Ashby was down in there. The ball came sailing right past him. He took a looking third strike right there.
He had him.
12th turnover now charged to Virginia Commonwealth. 11:40 left in the game. We'll see if the Hokies can make a run at them. Turnovers. Numbers getting a little large for both sides right now.
And VCU starting to catch up. Turnover.
They were plus 43 for the year, but having some problems with it tonight. Virginia Tech plus 59 in the turnover department for the year. They're taking care of it for the most part. Virginia Tech, a young team that's going to grow up a hurry in the next couple of years. The future is very bright right now, I believe, in Blacksburg, Terry. Foul on Brower.
Now this Brower defensively, when Sean Good has the basketball, he's guarding, he's on the floor, he's guarding him, and now Damon Watlington. Two of the guys, the youngsters who are part of that future. I think Virginia Tech needs to go to the other option. Go to them. Let them try to take the ball to the hoop. Watlington just did. I'm not sure Brower can stay with them. They haven't looked at that all game long.
Chris Brower is a friend of yours, and I know you're always teasing about how much he gets involved in the game. That's his 37th foul of the year.
He likes to stand out there behind that round arc as he's shooting. There's nothing wrong with that. Stay off his back.
Damon Watlington, 2 for 2 from the floor tonight, makes his first free throw.
Yeah. Nice socks, too, huh? What a fashion play.
Very bright young man. Speaks about 7 languages. Wants to be in the foreign service, perhaps the CIA when he gets out.
Speaks all 7 on the court quite a bit, too. That's a little bit of talking out there.
Speaks 1 on the court. Speaks 3. 3 is it. It's the only language he speaks on the court. Kareem Washington. Jimmy Jackson out with him.
Now the offense, Fred, is pushed way out when Kenny Harris isn't in. A little bit out of whack. The rhythm isn't quite there. That's a great catch by Mills, and he gets it stripped.
Jackson got a hand on it, but Ashby picks it up and scores his 4th point of the night. And the Rams are back up by 10 with 10:41 to play.
Nice high-low.
Oh, nice. Smith got him on his hip and spins and scores. Sean Smith, the freshman who may be something special before he leaves Virginia Tech, has 6 points tonight. On the Metro all-freshman team this year, 6'6" and 255 out of Gastonia, North Carolina. Boy, if he were 2 inches taller, he would be something.
Had a great start to the season. Playing pretty well in the last 2 weeks still.
Ashby, Smith go out and cover him. Now Ashby put it on the deck and threw it away. Thomas Elliott's going to get it back for Virginia Tech to Purcell.
Didn't have the angle, Fred, and the pass wasn't there either. I mean, the guy just wasn't open.
9:57 left in this contest.
Who's that matchup? Watlington with Brower on him, but they don't get a chance to do it.
Terrence Gibson takes it away and leaves it right there for Chris Brower.
I'm really going to fall out of my chair here. Second 2-point bucket of the day for Chris Brower.
1 3 and a pair of twos. So now for the year, Chris Brower has made 54 threes and 8 twos.
So much for balance.
Try a short one every once in a while. I never played 21 when he was a kid. It's good for a long and one for a short.
Well, if they could get Smith going here, and he scored the last 2 buckets, and you also have Elliott to go to. You come back out to Jim Jackson again. It's only an 8-point game. He gives you another option.
And a steal by Purcell. He's got Mills with him, and he almost lost the grip on it and decided to pull it out. Now a whistle. 7 steals tonight for the Hokies.
Catch Chris on the baseline, trying to stay up with Jay Purcell. After the hesitation, then he tries to take Brower to the baseline, thinks he can beat him, and just catches one right across the bridge of the nose.
Ron Mills now and Kareem Washington leads the ball game for VCU. Ashby, Tyron McCoy, Kasorin, Terrence Gibson, and Chris Brower out there right now for the Rams. Elliott, good. Sean Smith, Corey Jackson.
Whew. I tell you what, Good comes in. He smacks down the outside shot. Now you got Smith playing well. He scored. You got Elliott out there. You have got Good shooting the 3. Watlington just took one to the hole.
Now it's just a 5-point game. We're down by 14.
Right back in.
Just minutes ago it was a 14-point game. Gibson to Brower. The Hokies really picking it up on defense. You mentioned how far they've got the offense pushed out. And now the foul over on the sideline as Brower is working on the wing. The foul on Damon Watlington.
2 words, though, Fred. Kenny Harris. They made this run when Kenny Harris went to the bench, and the defense picks up because you don't really have a point guard out there running the show. Brower takes the seat, and Harris back in to settle his club down.
I'll say 2 more words. He's back.
That's right. He's back. 4 words says it all.
Yeah. To reset the shot clock on the kick. New 45-second clock. 8:33 left in the game. The 3-point shooting so far, and this one now dead even. Hey, Virginia Tech has shot the ball well tonight. They've had problems with it all year, but they were shooting 50% at halftime. They're getting good shots, too. O'Harris flashes the baseline. Now to Kasorin. Wants it, leans in, and a foul. Thomas Elliott, just his 2nd foul of the night. They can keep him out of foul trouble and stay close. They've got a shot here.
And who makes the impact as soon as he comes in? Kenny Harris. He gets the ball, penetrates the dish, and they get a foul.
Bill Foster looking on from in front of the Hokie bench, and Sonny Smith from in front of the Ram bench. Coming up later, UNC Charlotte and Louisville in Game 2 of the semifinal round of the Metro Tournament. Winners meet tomorrow for the championship and the automatic berth in the NCAA. How many will the Metro have in? Some say 3. If Virginia Commonwealth wins this game, some say 3.
That's the thing, too. You look at it, and let's be honest, most people look at the Metro this year, say it's not what it was last year, the last couple of years, top to bottom. You still may have 3 teams out of 7 that play in this league, and that's not bad.
Not bad at all. And you go crazy this time of year. You see a game and think, oop, that's going to hurt. Oh, that one might help.
Do it like 40 times a day.
Yeah.
This team got beat. There's an upset. What about this club? And who knows?
John Good. Corey Jackson tried to push it a little bit off balance and couldn't get it. And here comes Terrence Gibson right back for the Rams on the break. And down the lane he comes out. It'll be a charging foul. Terrence Gibson got a little out of shape and gets his 3rd foul.
Nowhere to go right down the lane. And that's another one. We see Kenny Harris pull up and hit the little 10-foot jump shot. Why not do that, Terrence? His 3rd foul. He had 2 early in the game. Watch right here. Why not pull up right there That's a free throw. All you have to do is hit a free throw. You don't have the number advantage, but why not take that little shot instead of trying to make something that's not there?
John Good, Harris on him. Washington to Corey Jackson.
With Mills out, you can really go to your inside game. You got Elliott down low with Kassorn or Smith with Ashby.
Damon Watlington, Elliott tip, no. Ashby gets it up to McCoy, and he found Kenny Harris in a hurry.
You don't see Kenny out of control that often. He doesn't mind stopping and bringing it back out or set it back up.
McCoy, that's a three. Tyron McCoy now has 15 points tonight. He is 6 for 8 from the floor tonight as Tyron McCoy.
Smooth.
All of a sudden a 10-point lead, and Bill Foster is going to get a timeout here. Timeout with a 7-11 left in the game, and we're back after this from the local stations. This is the Raycom Sports Network. Now let's take a look at tonight's Pizza Hut delivery of the game. First of all, the Rams have the basketball. Chris Brower comes up, and he's going to deliver it, but oops, wrong address. Nobody home there. Now the Rams are going to bring it back out. Second delivery attempt. There they are. Nobody home at that house either. So, if you're going to deliver it, what do? Call in to veteran delivery man. Let's get this thing to hand to Kenny Harris. He knows where everybody lives on this block. Even down on the corner.
And they finally get that thing delivered.
That's the Pizza Hut delivery of the game. And back we go to action. The 7:05 left in the contest.
Wrong number, wrong address, everything. They finally get it down, and they lead by 10.
Hey, Kenny, this is your neighborhood. You know where everybody lives on this thing. Sean Good. Watlington. Oh, they got Smith down low. A little bit too deep. Couldn't find the shot. Hey, Rams really active on defense right now. They're really recovering in a hurry.
You would think right now you could go inside. Watch Ashby, though, doing a nice job of trying to front Smith.
Jimmy Jackson had to fire it because the shot clock was going to go off. Now that horn doesn't count. Don't even think about it. The ball goes back to the Hokies.
Yeah.
Defensive team had the ball for a moment. The shot was up there in time.
But the point was, Fred, is that they had to take a shot that they really didn't want to take, and all because they had spent the entire 45 seconds trying to get the ball inside. But Ashby inside fronting Smith, and also Kassorn trying to front Elliott. They just couldn't get the ball in there. And now Mills comes back in, and you lose any advantage that you had. But Rodney Ashby did a nice job.
6:31 left in this contest. The Hokies within 10. Play held up momentarily while the ball boy mops up some perspiration from the court. And now we're set to resume. The feeling the Hokies have got one run left in them. They're going to have to get us started.
I think this guy's got to help out. He's got to hit a three or a couple of threes because it's been almost impossible to get the ball inside.
Kenny Harris, besides everything else he's doing, playing solid defense against the Hokie point man. Jackson got everybody in the air, and the left hand will go. And now the foul in the lane is Elliott and Kassorn were tangled up in there.
Trying to make something happen, though. You don't mind that if you're a coach. Ball wouldn't go in. He goes to the glass hard, then he tries to get it back, commits the foul, but that's what you need right now with 6 minutes left if you're going to come back.
Fourth foul on Jimmy Jackson now with 6:13 left in the game.
This is the problem, though, when you play VCU, and why I think they're an NCAA club and might do okay in the NCAA tournament. Kenny Harris from the 6-minute mark in, if you're trying to steal a ball or take it away, it's awfully tough. Now, some of the other guys might kick it back to you.
Traveling call on Tyron McCoy. Rams give it back to the Hokies with 6 minutes left in the game.
Second time Tyron has been called for shifting the pivot foot.
Jay Purcell now against Kenny Harris. Look to the baseline. Nice catch down there by Sean Good. And Sean Smith has to run it down at midcourt. Now Purcell, boy, handed it to him in a tough spot. He's in a trap. Needs help. And did he call a timeout?
Yeah, he got it.
Called the timeout in time. He just, what he's saying, don't hand it to him there. Got him in a tough spot. Timeout here. 5:41 left in this game. We'll be back after this from Budweiser. And the Rams have a 10-point lead. Virginia Tech, upset winner last night over Tulane, been sticking around. They've been down by as many as 16 in this game and back within 5 in the second half.
Well, they've done the hanging part. Now it's time to try to steal it. You've got to press a little bit, offensively and defensively.
Got a charge. Somebody has to take control and make something happen. Jimmy Jackson down low to Smith. To the baseline he goes. The shot won't fall. Kasorin with the rebound, tied up by Thomas Elliott. And the arrow belongs to Virginia Commonwealth.
Just can't get it to drop. It's like the beginning part of the ball game. Pretty nice move by Sean Smith again. Ball just won't go down. And Sonny didn't want the held ball call. He wanted a foul. Now the possession arrow switches back the other way.
You know, if I were an official, I'd almost wish Sonny would say something to me, because he's one of the funniest people in America and is likely to have some humor behind it.
Yeah, but if you're the opposing coach, that's what you fear.
Yeah.
You get the official on his side then. Once the smile comes out.
We're going to make another bad call here. Now, there hasn't been a bad call in this game.
No, there hasn't.
Fouls are in the second half. From here on out, both of them in 1-1. Kasorin went for the drive. Well, the basket's going to count. It went. And Thomas Elliott called for his third foul. That shot fell about 10 seconds late, it seemed like. Where was the ball all that time?
I tell you what, we may have spoken too soon. that was certainly a block. It was a good call by the official. Watch and see. Here's the contact right there. A little NBA continuation.
Yeah. Well, give Kasorin the 2.
And even the players argued very quietly. This Thomas is shaking his head.
Kasorin now has 8 points. Elliott clears the rebound. It's a 12-point lead in the round. A lot of people thinking that a win here would get Virginia Commonwealth in the NCAA. Nothing certain until the pairings come out tomorrow, but Rams right now are 4:38 away from that win. Purcell trying to challenge it does with another tray. Jay Purcell with 4 threes in the game. 18 points tonight.
He's not going to hand it to the Rams yet. A lot of time left in this ball game.
You know, these two teams met before one time. Virginia Tech had 11 threes in the game, and Virginia Commonwealth had 13 in that same contest. Now Kasorin with a stick back.
Everything breaks down, though, when Kenny Harris penetrates. When you guard Kenny Harris, just let him stay in front of you. He may hit the 3, he may knock down some outside shots, but it creates more trouble when he gets inside.
Each team with 8 tries tonight. That's a try for a 2 that won't go, and Kasorin suddenly coming up big for the Rams.
Hey, he's had some big rebounds.
Harris against Purcell. Down low it goes. Sherron Mills working in the lane. Double team and got it off anyway. Tip try won't fall from Kasorin. And now Sean Smith up against Kenny Harris and gives it up down in the lane to Sean. Good.
And a nice pickup by Sean Smith. Didn't try to dribble it, didn't try to do anything with it. Just pick it up and get it to the guy going down the middle of the court.
Phil Foster's problem now is he's had to burn 2 timeouts in the second half. One of them when his player got in trouble on a trap. So he's short on timeouts now as he comes down the stretch. 9-point lead to Virginia Commonwealth. 3:13 to play.
Time to run a little clock through VCU. They'll go side to side, and if you're the Hokies, you got to deny that pass, at least to Harris. And Purcell trying to keep the ball out of Kenny Harris's hands.
Sherron Mills turned down a shot. Normally he would have taken it, except for the wanting to run the clock.
And now we got the basketball. So Jay is the Lone Ranger again.
Harris by Purcell in the lane, out of bounds. Ram basketball with 4 on the shot clock. That's the shot clock you see in your screen there. 2:50 left in the game. And now Sean Smith is out and Corey Jackson in for Virginia Tech. Mills dropped it in a hurry. Oh, Sherron Mills. Woo.
Too easy.
Too easy off the inbounds play for sure. 15 points now for Sherron Mills, and the Rams are up by 11. And in pretty good shape here. You see the clock.
What do you think? I think he's an NBA player. He's got a shot.
Too. I just do. And the more you believe it. Now, Elliott fouled. Mills and Kasorin had him sandwiched as he went to the basket.
And here's a guy who, as we said, he can run the floor. So many times you see him leading the break out ahead of Kenny Harris. He's got good hands. He can obviously shoot the basketball around the basket. He's proven that today. And he can take you away from the basket, too. He's got a pro body. I think he can play on the next level.
6'9" senior from Snow Hill, Maryland. Good passer, averaging 15 points, 8 rebounds a game. One of the most underrated players in the league, that's for sure. 2:30 left in this one. Rams are up by 11, and the Hokies trying to marshal their forces for one last run.
VCU can beat you in a lot of ways, and especially since Kendrick Warren went out, it's surprising the number of ways it can beat you. From the outside, Tyron McCoy can certainly shoot the threes. He loves the wing area to shoot the basketball. Gives the 5 to Kenny Harris, another great 3-point shooter. And you look at what the league has done. Louisville has led In fact, they're among the leaders in the country. VCU right behind them at 39. 47% tonight, Fred. We said that was a key, and it has been.
Louisville, a team that wouldn't shoot the three when the rule first came into being, now as good as anybody in the country at it. Look at the threes tonight. I mentioned earlier that the last meeting between these teams, Tech had 11 threes and the Rams had 13, and both of them now with 8 tonight. Thomas Elliott with his 9th point of the ball game. Maybe playing his last game in a Hokie uniform right now. The 6'8" senior said last night, I had read that we might go out and I didn't want it to be my last game. Sherron Mills with another rebound.
Well, if it is, nobody can take away from them what they did yesterday. They shocked this league and everyone in this building. One of the biggest upsets in this tournament's history. And Sonny Smith trying to avoid a repeat of that, and looks like he's going to.
Well, I'll tell you what, if they weren't one win away from the NCAA going into tonight's game, they will be going to tomorrow's, because tomorrow's an automatic if you win.
Whether we think that or not, that's exactly the way it is. And you'd rather go ahead and know it as you watch the pairings and just watch as a team to see where you're going instead of if.
I wonder who else is going to be in this thing besides us.
Exactly.
Kenny Harris with a miss at the free throw line, but he's had a good night. 18 points, 6 of them in the first half. And Harris also with 9 assists tonight. Sherron Mills has 15 points, 9 rebounds. Kasurin, 8 points, 8 rebounds. Some of the Rams have come up big here tonight. Tyron McCoy, 15 points. Purcell from way outside. Jay Purcell with 5 trays in this game now has 21 points. Just 4 away from his career high.
And they have not given up yet. I mean, Bill Foster on the sideline making this man awfully anxious. Purcell hits the 3. Bill Foster comes up off the bench and wants the foul right away. They get it. Kenny Harris only about a 65% free throw shooter, which is a little bit surprising. And that's what I'm talking about with the free throws. There's no reason why a guy who shoots like this should be under 75% or so.
I agree. How many did you shoot today? You were about a 90% free throw.
I'll be honest with you, in high school on up, I probably shot 200 to 250 free throws every day, along with the 500 or so jump shots. That once I got to college, I shot at least 100 every day in the summer, of course, before and after practice. Because with free throws, more than anything else, as Kenny doesn't even hit the rim, we're going to special delivery again. The miss, that address was changed a long time ago.
Sorry.
You know, but Fred, it's a direct correlation, unlike a lot of other things. You shoot free throws, practicing the way you're going to shoot them in the game, and you shoot them well. That's all there is to it.
Gibson, look at McCoy get out on a break. 17 points for Tyron McCoy. And a half dozen rebounds for him. So the Rams are having some big nights here. And they now lead by 10 with a minute 42 to play, and the Hokies can't wait. Somebody's got to put one up. There's going to be Thomas Elliott for 3. He will. Tough shot. Wouldn't fall for it. Corey Jackson trying to save it. Can't. Gibson for the Rams trying to get out of harm's way here, and does, to Kenny Harris. They don't want to get the clock stopped. They're trying to keep the ball and keep from getting fouled, and McCoy is fouled by Jimmy Jackson. So Jackson will foul out here with 12 points tonight. Texas Tech beat TCU tonight by 17. We assume that both radio announcers went all the way in that one. We haven't.
Can't be sure, though.
No.
They might have gone to that necktie.
Last time that tournament, a radio announcer was thrown out of the game for giving an official the choke sign. Jimmy Jackson sits down with 12 points, a couple of rebounds, and an assist in this game tonight. He's a freshman, a lot of basketball ahead of him.
Yeah, he's a guy who came in playing hard. The start of the season went out playing hard. And double digits again tonight. Nothing to be ashamed of in this ball game. And you're right. Not only Jim Jackson, but this is a team with a lot of youngsters and a big future.
Started the year with 8 freshmen, 5 of them have played prominent parts in this season for Virginia Tech. Ace Custis has been out for the year. Jimmy Jackson here from Janesville, Wisconsin. 1 of 3 from Fort Union on this team.
Got a 6'10" kid coming in from San Antonio, Brandon Price as well. And it's always nice to have that 6'10" beside a name coming in on a recruit.
1:15 now left in the contest. Purcell, Damon Watlington, contested 3. Whoa. Another freshman, Damon Watlington, with his 8th point of the ball game now, and it's a 9-point lead with 1:06 left in this contest. Bill Foster now spends his last time out. Bill Foster spent his last time out. He's down 9 with 1:06 to go. But Terry Gannon, even if the Hokies can't come back in this one, Bill Foster has found something to build on in 2 games in this tournament. They may come back and win it. Kenny Harris doesn't want him to.
No doubt about it. Now they get the foul. Kenny Harris goes back to the free throw line. But, you know, in the last 2 weeks of the season, when they were really struggling, they started to play well. I mean, they're struggling record-wise. And Bill Foster said all along, I'm patient with this ball club. I think we're getting better. And the win yesterday, I think, if anything else, a little payback to Virginia Tech and to Bill Foster for what he's done this year.
Bill Foster has been a builder of programs. This will be the 4th time he's done it. Kenny Harris.
That's shorter, Fred. Shorter. UNCC Miami. And Raycom.
He was there for a year with us and did a good job.
The University of Raycom.
23 points now for Kenny Harris tonight. 7 away from his high. Elliott down low. They're not going to foul him. Thomas Elliott wasn't too tough for him. They weren't about to foul him. 11 points for Elliott now and a 9-point lead for VCU and a foul here.
They get one before any time can come off the clock. They don't have any more timeouts, too, so that's the only way to do it, so why not go ahead and foul right away?
So to the other end we go. Third foul on Damon Watlington, 6'1" freshman from Louisville, North Carolina. Now Terrence Gibson. They're going to change shooters down here and put Terrence Gibson on the line.
Bill Foster, also the head coach, of course, at Clemson, and had a few trips down to Death Valley, Middleton, to play against his ball club.
Hey, what, there were some pretty good guard matchups in those games.
Oh. Pretty good guards right now in the ACC, too. It's a guard-laden conference. I think we've got maybe the best guard in the Metro in this ball game. I'm not sure there's anyone better than Kenny Harris.
I agree with you.
For my money.
Good guard play all over the country. I picked up a paper the other day in the Big 8. 8 of the first 10 players in the league on the All-Star teams were guards. 2 big men, 8 guards. 37 seconds left in this one. Rams by 11. Corey Jackson's long try won't go. Sherron Mills picks off yet another rebound for Virginia Commonwealth, and he's fouled. And Sherron Mills' big night continues now. That's his 10th rebound to go with 15 points tonight. Bill Foster still coaching him. Talking to the freshman, Sean Good.
Still coaching at the other end, trying to teach, and Sonny Smith just trying to survive here. All he wants is a W. He doesn't care how he gets it in this ball game, because this one, he thinks, and most of us do as well, gets him into the NCAA tournament.
Sherron Mills, 15 points, 10 rebounds tonight. Had 21 and 9 last night. Coming up big in postseason play. You would like to see your senior do. Now McCoy will come out. Gibson will come out. Washington and Brower back in for the Rams.
It's also a game, Fred, that really doesn't take a whole lot out of VCU. I don't think, this one, when you talk about fatigue, playing 3 games in 3 days, and if Louisville would advance to the championship game against the VCU, say they have the advantage, they're well rested, I don't think this takes much out at all of VCU. They've gotten a lot of guys off the bench to play a lot of minutes today, and it's been about an 8-9 point ball game down the stretch.
26 seconds to play. Sean Good, the freshman for Virginia Tech. Jay Purcell, another long 3 that won't fall. Brower with the rebound, bumped by Corey Jackson. Second foul on Corey Jackson. That'll put Chris Brower on the line now with 19 seconds to play. The Ram cheerleaders beginning to think they're in the championship match here tomorrow afternoon. That they're convinced they're singing the old Steam song. No.
Steam and the White Sox.
You're from south of Chicago by a few miles. You recognize the South Side Serenade there, don't you?
So the 77 Rena players with Bill Veck, that song became popular. If I ever go into the music business, my goal is to make songs like that, which will be sung like for 200 years. That thing will be sung 200 years from now at ballparks.
We'll call Nancy Faust, the organist at Comiskey Park, and say, what do you want to hear?
That's it. Kenny Harris, a great job again today. Well, I'll tell you, today 7 of 11. He had 21 points. He had 9 assists. And again, with a guy like that on your squad, the way he's played the last quarter of the season, especially once Kendrick Warren went down, you got a shot in any ball game. And
Thomas Elliott, a senior, has played his final moments for the Hokies and probably a little emotional sitting over there, and who could blame him? Rich Mountain, the ball game now.
I've been there. I've been in that spot, and it's one of those things where it hits you all of a sudden. You know, he's taken out for the last time. He sits down, and all of a sudden, all the emotions that didn't come to him before that moment, they all come into one, and it hits you. You realize you won't be out there again. You won't play college basketball again, and it's a tough moment.
Well, to that point in your young life, you've devoted nearly all of it to the game.
You know, people wonder why it's such a hard transition, even for those players who know they're not going to the NBA. Your entire life has been consumed by basketball. It has been one of the most important things in your life, and all of a sudden, boom, in a snap of a finger, it's over.
To the baseline, and the ball knocked out of there, picked up by Mount. 5 seconds left. Brower looking, puts it up for Ashby. The shot, no. And that's going to do it. Virginia Commonwealth has advanced to the championship game in the Metro Conference Tournament. Doubting Virginia Tech tonight, 85-71. Sonny Smith and Bill Foster, friends as well as rival coaches, with a final handshake here. And even though Virginia Tech loses, I still think they took something good out of this tournament.
Without a doubt. And you look at the young kids, and they take an emotion next year. Bill Foster talked about it yesterday. Kids asking about, you know, when does the offseason conditioning start? When do we do this and that? A positive for him to take into next year. And again, Sonny Smith, the smile on his face, because all he wanted to do today was to survive to play another day.
Final score again, 85-71. Virginia Commonwealth wins it. Is that enough to get them in the NCAA tournament? Who knows? For sure they're in the championship game tomorrow. Let's get you back upstairs now to Jim Brinson.